Hey beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my little corner of the interwebs. Today I have another new makeup releases video for you guys. Y'all, I'm gonna have to pick up these new makeup releases. I've been doing them like every other week, but fall releases have been insane. I swear every other day a brand has a new release coming out and I'm trying to keep on top of it. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot, but I will say I've been pausing and I've been getting over FOMO very, very quickly. So as much as a lot of these releases have been catching my eye, when I sit and marinate for like half a second, I'm like, I could do without it. And on top of that, now that we're getting into the fall season, y'all already know Black Friday is right around the corner. Most brands will offer at least 20% off in the indie space. The more mainstream brands will have something that's a little bit larger. But indies will typically give us 20 to 25% off. So if you don't need it right now, you can probably wait for, for a good Black Friday sale. So just something to be mindful of if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you want to take a step back. Anyways, I don't want to sit here and dilly-dally too long. Let me go ahead and scooch to the side. I'm going to pull up makeup on your radar and let's just dive into these new releases. I'm actually scrolling back a little bit because I want to start with the hottest release. Is it the hottest release though? But the one that I think we were all waiting on, and that is Pat McGrath's holiday release. Now I'm questioning whether or not this is the hottest release because, I mean, it's exciting just because it's Pat McGrath. If anybody else were to release this, we would be bored. And quite frankly, we are bored. I asked you guys on Instagram what you thought about the Pat McGrath holiday palette, and y'all were like, no, absolutely not. Y'all were bored. I'm a little bit excited. I don't know if it's because I love Pat McGrath's eyeshadow formula and I've been waiting for her to release something exciting all year that, like, I am slightly excited about this release. I want to say though that I'm a little bit disappointed that we've gone this far and we haven't gotten a mothership. Part of me is holding out hope that she's just going to surprise us with a mothership, but I'm also like, are we just not going to get one this year? And that's a little bit sad and disappointing to me. Anyways, let's dive into this collection for real, and talk about it. So this is her Luminous Legends collection. I don't know why we're still doing this packaging. It's like that red bow with all these sparkles, but I feel like we've done that for the last at least 2 or 3 years, and at this point, I'm kind of over it. It's a lot. It's not very, it doesn't feel as luxurious or as special as it did in the beginning. Now it just kind of feels a little bit tacky, and I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just like, this isn't giving luxury, Patricia. And I'm pretty sure every single one of this is cardboard, so like, it is what it is. We know that her holiday collections, we don't get the black lacquer, so I kind of expected that. I do appreciate that with the large palette, which is the Mega eyeshadow palette, which is going to be $76, I'm glad that it's smaller. Her old Mothership Megas used to be pretty large, and I think last year she did this thing where it was like half eyeshadow and 2 blushes, which nobody asked for. We don't need blushes, we just want your eyeshadow. So she's giving us just eyeshadow and she's made it a little bit more compact, which I think is great because this would be awesome to travel with. Looking at the palette itself, I think we get, what, 4 mattes and the rest is shimmers. They look absolutely beautiful in my opinion. They're very, very neutral. Not really pink. I would say just straight up neutral. And you guys know I've been in a very neutral vein. So to me, this is actually really appealing. And the fact that it's $76 is it doesn't even faze me anymore because if we're being honest, that's what the indie brands charge, and this is Pat McGrath. Now, the question that I have about this is whether or not this is her Italian formula or if it's her US-based formula. When it comes to a lot of brands and their holiday releases, we've seen this all the time where they will use a inferior formula for their holiday releases compared to like their standard releases. And you know, Pat McGrath has some of her palettes where the eyeshadows are made in Italy and some that where it's made in the US. And I personally, from my experience, what I use, it doesn't have to be yours, I personally feel like the quality and the performance of her Italian formula palettes are much better than the ones that are made in the US. That's just my thoughts. So I'm really hoping that this is the Italian formula because that's what I want, you know? Do I think that this is going to sell out based on everyone's reaction? Probably not. So you might be able to get this at like a 20-30% off sale. And I know that Pat McGrath will oftentimes end up at TJ Maxx now. So, you know, don't feel like you have to run out and buy this. Now, this is actually, in my opinion, a much smaller release than her holiday releases of years past because we get much less products. Because in addition to that large Mothership Mega, we now have also 2 of her quints. Now these, I do have a couple of. I find that I never actually use her quints, so I end up decluttering them almost always, because when I reach for a Pat McGrath palette, this isn't what I'm reaching for. That being said, this is beautiful though. We do have a neutral one. I think she always gives us a basic neutral. And then we have one that's kind of purple blue. Different for Pat, but also it doesn't feel very special. And I think each of those palettes only has one matte shade. And for me, one matte, it doesn't feel complete, especially if it's like a mid-toned matte. Like, I like to deepen things up, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. The quints, Dawn Divinity and Starfall Seduction, both of them are going to be $36 a piece. There'll probably be a bundle where you'll save like $1 or $2, but we only get 2 quints. I think the last time she gave us 4 or 5, so it's already a smaller collection of quints. Then, who approved this? This was the weirdest and most confusing thing to me, because now we also have some eyeshadow duos. So you can get 2 Pat McGrath shadows for $25. Both of them are shimmers, and there are 3 options. So there's a like champagne and green, a bronze reddish one, and then like a yellow gold and a black. Why? Why? I don't know, but it's like, okay, maybe this is like a gift thing. So like if you have like a makeup lover in your life and you want to get like a little stocking stuffer, this could be a stocking stuffer. But that's the only like real purpose I see for this. Other than that, why? You know, it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. But $25, it's not bad if you just wanted a taste of Patricia. A little taste, a little... Anyways, other than that, there is a mini Lust gloss duo. So you get 2 mini glosses for 29 bucks. Not bad at all. I don't know what the colors are, but it looks like a pretty light one and then like a richer option. I will say Pat McGrath's lip gloss formula is chef's kiss. She's one of my favorite lip gloss formulas, if not my favorite. No, I think she has my favorite lip gloss formula. And then there's the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Yeah, she's the best lip gloss formula. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's also a lipstick trio. So you get 3 mini lipsticks. She does this all the time. I'm pretty sure if you bought this before, you probably have 1, 2, or if not all of the shades. Like, I'm 85% sure one of those shades is going to be like Elson. Is it Elson 3? Might be Elson 3. Something along those lines. That lipstick trio is going to be 35 bucks. There's also Petalic Passion Shimmer and Smoke Kit. What's that? Okay, so the Petalic Passion Shimmer and Smoke Kit, it's one of the duos plus one of the eye pencils. And that's going to be $32. Okay. So here's the deal with this. I definitely want the Mothership Mega. I don't know if I'm going to buy it at launch because, quite frankly, I have a hard time paying full price for Pat McGrath knowing that it's going to go on sale almost like immediately. So I think I'm going to wait on it. And considering, well, but that's the thing though. Like, I'm always weighing the options between to buy it immediately or wait on it because I do know that Pat McGrath performs extremely well on my channel and I think everyone's channel. So part of me is like, well, I should just get it for the video of it all. So we'll see. I'll sit on it. I believe the release date for this is the 27th of September. So that is kind of early. Is it not? I feel like it's early. I feel like it's early for Pat McGrath. Usually like there's a 10% coupon code that you would get with it. So maybe if anything, I'll just get the Mega palette. But we'll see. Let me know if you all are super interested. If there's a ton of interest in it, I will buy it immediately so I could do a video on it. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to skip over a ton just because, like, I don't think I can cover everything that's released in the last couple of days without this video being forever long. Like, Pat McGrath could have been its own video if we're being honest. Okay, so we have a new ambient lighting palette. It's called Dream Edit from Hourglass. Really surprised about this. So this one's basically a quad. There's going to be 3 brand new shades, including finishing powder, blush, and highlighter. And the bronzer is in the shade Lunar Bronze. Now, just looking at this is way too light for my complexion. Also, why is there only one? Because there ain't no way this is meant to be universal. Why would you only create one of this? This doesn't even make sense. It's going to retail for $64. I'm trying to compare that to the larger ones that are $90. I'm not going to do the math right now because I can't. But I just don't understand what was the point of this. Like, why would you create a quad that is only suitable for literally like one complexion group. Make it make sense. We have Charlotte Tilbury's new holiday release. I'm pretty sure that this was like leaked several months ago because I've seen this 9-pan palette floating around everywhere for some time now. So there is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure what the price of that is going to be. I don't see it here. And then a ton of single shades. Personally, I've never thought about buying Charlotte Tilbury single shades. I don't really buy singles like that at all anyway. There's also some skin sets like her magic cream and whatnot. Some of her little blush ones. So there are a couple of holiday sets as well. But the most interesting thing about this is that 9-pan palette. I will say the one that I bought last year, I loved it way more than I thought I was going to. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was like such a good palette. This one, part of me is curious because of how much I love that other one when I didn't expect to. But this is a pink palette. And I know we complain all the time about Pat McGrath and her pinks. But honestly, Charlotte Tilbury is the biggest offender. If we want to keep it 100 and talk about a brand that consistently does pinks, it's Charlotte Tilbury. So me looking at this palette and realizing that it's all pinks is kind of like, but why? That being said though, the mattes that they chose for this one is deeper and richer than the ones that they offered in the face palette. I don't think I'm going to pick this up at launch, but if it does go on sale, I would certainly be willing to consider picking it up because I really did enjoy the formula of the first one way more than I thought. I traveled with it. It's the perfect work palette. It was so like effervescent and effortless. It was kind of like that Makeup by Mario palette where he was trying to do that ethereal thing. Charlotte did it better. So I'm hoping that this is similar. But yeah, let me know if you guys are picking that up. It's going to be maybe on sale for me. So we have some new brushes from BK Beauty. 3 brushes plus a makeup bag. If you know, you know. I don't shop from BK Beauty. I don't feel comfortable. The brand doesn't feel inclusive to me in a way that is like very obvious from just like scrolling through their Instagram. And it like, you know when you get that feeling in your gut? That's what I have. So I've just decided that I'm not shopping from them because I don't feel comfortable. But I know everybody loves their brushes, so let me know if you are picking this up. I'm curious as to why they changed the handle. I don't like this one. Their other brushes I thought looked a little bit more sophisticated, but this all purple metallic handle, I don't like it. But that's just me. I may also be nitpicky because I don't like the brand. So I'll accept that criticism. Patrick Ta has a Barbie blush, like straight up Barbie. So it looks like it's actually a set where you get the Barbie blush duo and a lip plumper in that bright fuchsia pink. It's available at Sephora. It's $64 for the 2 items. I thought we were done with this Barbie pink trend. I'm so over it. And I've never tried the Patrick Ta blush formula. Never really been interested either, to be honest. But moving along, I don't know who this is, but I want it. JC Cosmetics. Never heard of this brand before, but this palette is insanely gorgeous. So they have a Tapatia eyeshadow palette, and this collection is going to be available on the 27th of September at 12 p.m. CTZ. What time zone is that? So I'm guessing that this is not a US-based brand, because CTZ seems like not US. Let me know if you know what time zone that is. Anyways, so the eyeshadow palette is going to be $49.99. It's a beautiful neutral palette. I want to acknowledge though that this is the photography that's here that Makeup on Your Radar has. You can clearly see that the photo has been edited. So I don't know if the saturation of this is like going to be very real. So I'm going to have to go to this website to figure out like what this actually looks like. But before I do that, so the eyeshadow palette is $49.99. There's a blush palette with stunning shades. Like, this looks like it's a black-owned brand or like somebody with some melanin created this brand. Just saying. So the blush palette, 6 shades, $34.99. Not bad pricing at all. There's 9 double-sided brushes for $40. That's not bad because that actually works out to being like 18 brushes. A lipstick, a red lipstick called Guadalajara for $14.99. A brown lipstick called Tierra Mojada for $14.99. A mirror for $9.99. Or it's free if you buy the whole bundle. If you buy the full collection, it's $154.95. That's not bad at all. I don't know. This imagery is stunning. They have this woman with like beautiful like tattoos. Oh my god. I love, love, love how this looks. Okay, I'm looking at one of the videos for this. It's out of focus, so I can't tell what this looks like. But it's so pretty. This palette is gorgeous. I've never heard of this brand before, but everything in me wants to try it. And I'm trying to figure out like a little bit more about it. Okay, now I'm following it. JC Cosmetics. Let me know if you guys have tried this brand before, because I do think it's probably Latinx owned. Okay, let's keep moving. Otherwise, I can spend all day like trying to like figure out this brand. Okay, so this release is one that I'm pretty sure, like I'm 95% sure that I'm going to purchase it. And this is the Underland collection from Ensley Rain Cosmetics. This is just perfection. Other than that one white shade, which I don't need, this is like a perfect palette for me. It's so freaking beautiful. Turns out it's a whole collection. I didn't know that. Anyways, the palette itself is going to be $70, but if you use an influencer code, it's going to be $63. I think I have a code with Ensley Rain. If I do, it's going to be Jamila. If you are ever curious about like my codes, just type in Jamila. You may or you may not get 10% off. I use the same code everywhere for the most part. And I do have it with a lot of the indie brands. So even if I'm not shopping from them. So if you are looking for money off, just type in my name and see what happens. Anyways, so the palette is almost like a definite yes for me. It is one of the on the cheaper end when it comes to Ensley Rain. Y'all know they are in that like $79, $80 price point. So this is on the cheaper end, and it does have those beautiful grungy red tones that I absolutely love. So that's the palette. There's Moonlit Madness, which is that the blush duo? It might be a blush duo. Something called Moonlit Madness is $14. There is a multi-chrome highlighter for $20. There is a lip gloss, and there are lip glosses and a lip oil. They're $12 each. The face duo, sorry, I got that wrong. That's $18. There's a lip trio for $34. And there's going to be some multi-chrome singles. So I guess if you don't want to buy the full palette, but you just want the singles, they're going to be $18 a piece. If you want to get the whole collection, it's going to be $205 and... Wait. The whole collection, excluding the lip products, is $205. Then it's not the whole collection. Okay, whatever. Yes, so as far as I know, I'm going to get the palette. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up buying the palette because it's beautiful. So that may be my holiday release of choice, because I can't get all of them. I have to pick and choose, okay? I have to manage my expectations and pick one. Oh, you know, I was waiting for this to be announced, but I didn't know that it was already announced. So Refa, they have some new products. What is this? So to celebrate their 5-year anniversary, they're going to be launching 2 special limited edition products at reduced prices. So the first one is a single brush that celebrates all of the best materials and craftsmanship from Cubano, Japan. And the second is an eye collection that's crafted using a new brush making technique that's been adapted from Japanese calligraphy. We don't have a release date. The eye brushes, they look like regular eye brushes, so I'm not particularly interested in that. But that face brush now, hold on, now that's beautiful. That I'm pretty sure I want, and that I might just get, because that's stunning. Refa, you guys know, one of my favorite brush brands. I've been trying to like really hone in on like only natural hair brushes for my lids, because the synthetic ones are scratchy. They just hurt. So I've been honing in on natural hair brushes, and Refa is the most affordable when it comes to that. So I'm intrigued. I'm very interested. We have a holiday vault from Rihanna. This is the from Fenty Beauty. So you can get 10 of her gloss bombs. This is one of my like absolute favorites. Like I love the gloss bomb formula. These are cute. But I don't need like 10 gloss bombs. I have more than enough lip glosses. But they could be good stocking stuffers. So if you guys were interested in like, just plopping one in everybody's stocking, it's $150 for the 10. Is that $15 a piece? How much do they retail for on their own? No clue, but just now you know. So Gourmand Girls has a new eyeshadow palette. I think it's just a palette. I don't think it's a full collection. But it's the Calavera palette. This is based on the Day of the Dead holiday in Mexico. Is it just Mexico? I'm not sure, but it's based on the Day of the Dead. But this is so pretty. Like, it's so accurate to, like, the holiday. It's gorgeous. And I kind of want this, It's colorful, but something about me really, really is like, ooh, I kind of want it. I'm going to hold off on it for no, because I have to be so selective, you guys. I can't. Anyways, it's launching on the 27th. So many things are launching on the 27th. And it's going to retail for $64.99. You can use influencer codes for 10% off. Such a pretty palette. And that red shade, oh, it is so gorgeous. I can't even lie. So we have a restock that I had been hemming and hawing on, but I think I'm going to end up skipping it. So Legend of Audra, which was a limited edition palette by Adapt Cosmetics, is now back in stock. The price of this one was $75, which is why I had been hesitant to pick it up in the first launch. Even knowing that it was limited edition, I was just like, 75 is a bit much, and I was not in the mood for it. Apparently this has like a ton of different like formulations. So there's 4 Hypool hollow shades, 2 unique Hypool marble multichrome shimmers, 2 Hypool multidimensional shimmers, and 5 smooth buildable mattes. So they say that there's multiple textures and formulas in this palette, including gel and cream. The gel cream eyeshadows are not a typical powder eyeshadow and may move around when in transit or when you touch it. So I've heard that these are a little bit on the squishy end and not the easiest to work with. I've also like asked a couple of people who have both this and the Unity palette if they prefer the Unity over the Audra palette and like which one they prefer, and all of them have said Unity. And Unity is like 65 or 50 something. It's much cheaper. So because I already have Unity and people are not saying that they prefer the other one more, I think it's fair to skip it. So I was going to get it to do a review, but like it seems kind of unnecessary now. So I'm definitely skipping on this, but if you were interested, it has been restocked and you can use my code Jamila to save 10% off. So we have a beautiful collection from Suku. This is a brand that I've always been interested in trying, but it's not as readily available in the US as at all. Like, you can get it from Selfridges, Cult Beauty, Liberty London, Harrods, so all of these UK retailers, but you can't just get it at like a Nordstrom or a Sephora. But Suku is one of those brands that I think is just a beautiful luxury brand. It's kind of similar to like Tom Ford and Chanel, where it is not the best for lighter skin tones. I do think it is an Asian-based brand, so like there's something to that in some ways, but also not an excuse because they are sold internationally. But it's one that I've been very, very curious about, just haven't, like, 1, made the steps to buy, and also 2, haven't quite figured out how to buy it, because, like, again, it's not sold in any US retailers, so we'll see. But it's really pretty. There's, like, a purpley palette, a bluish palette, and then some really nice kind of ombre blushes as well. So let me know if you've tried Suku and how that formulation compares to some of the other luxury some of the other luxury eyeshadows. Oh, another really exciting indie release is the Bella Beauty Vamp palette. This is really pretty. You get some red shades, some blue shades, some purple shades. I thought that this was going to be more red than it actually was. Like, I was so convinced that I was going to buy this palette immediately, but then it wasn't as red as I thought it was going to be. So this was an easy one for me to take off my list, but I do think that it's pretty, and I think that it probably will pair nice with some of the other Bella Beauty palettes, like D'Angelo Cole's, is it called Ultraviolet? Her purple palette. I think it's a really nice palette to pair with some of the other palettes in the Bella Beauty lineup. But I was really hoping for it to be like stupid red, and it wasn't. So I was a little disappointed, but it's like an easy pass for me at this point then. I am switching to trend mood a little just to see what else they've got going on. So MAC has a new Pro Set in Blue Pressed Powder Duo. This is going to be interesting because it's white and lavender. I don't know who it's supposed to be for. Well, I guess it's not for us because it says available now in Asia. So they didn't make this for us. Okay, that's fine. But this is pretty. I can see this as a setting powder. I'm not going to get into the whole YSL of it all in their blushes, because it's all been said already. But I think that I'm thinking about it as a powder, not as a blush. And I'm like, that could actually be really pretty. We have the MAC Holiday Collection. Y'all know MAC always does it big each year. But MAC is also one of those brands that will go on sale. And you can find it at the CCO. So you definitely don't have to pay full price for it. And I definitely wouldn't recommend paying full price for it. We have a Stranger Things collection from Colourpop Cosmetics. I didn't know that this was coming. And it's actually a really pretty collection. Colourpop is a brand that I used to enjoy, but when it comes to like comparing their formula to what else I have, it's not exactly like it's an okay formulation. Like, I'm not going out of my way to buy Colourpop. So it's a pretty palette. I think it's very like reflective of the TV show Stranger Things, but I'm not interested in really picking it up. They always do such a good job with their packaging. It's so cute. And it looks like in addition to Stranger Things, they also have an After Hour collection. This is also really, really pretty. It's definitely more mauve, more pink, but it's a pretty like neutral leaning collection. Very nice. Is Colourpop making a comeback? Because I feel like at some point they had been like gone and we hadn't heard them. They'd like really stopped releasing. We have a new release from Sol de Janeiro. This is their Cheriosa. Well, it's one of their body creams, but this one is a shimmery body cream. It's like a beautiful gold bronze color. Oh my god, that's gonna look stunning on like deeper skin tones. It's nice. I think that stuff is really nice. I don't know if like I'd go out of my way to buy this. Like, also, why are you releasing a shimmery cream in the winter time? This seems like it would have been a summer release, you know? It seems like a little late, but hey. I would glow in the wintertime as well. I think that you need to glow even more in winter. So, hey. Just a thought. Oh, we have a beautiful new collection from Dior. Oh, they have a ton for holiday. I didn't realize this. So, they have a couple of eyeshadow palettes, a couple of highlighter palettes, some standalone blushes, some liquid lips, some bullet lips, some... Is that nail polish? They definitely went all out with their holiday releases. I will say, though, these all look dusty. Every single one of them. So, from my perspective, I'm not picking anything up because they all look dusty. But maybe if I see it at, like, a Nordstrom and I have the chance to swatch it, then and only then, I might consider it. We also have some holiday releases from Tarte. They do this every year. So we have a couple of eyeshadow palettes, like a blush collection. I think the thing that everyone's been talking about, though, is their quads, which are very, very reminiscent of the Hourglass quads. Not Hourglass quads, but the Hourglass holiday palettes. Now, it does look like a baked formulation. I'm not going to say that this is the exact same formula, because I don't think that they can dupe the formula like that. But it does look very similar, and if you weren't interested in paying the Hourglass prices, this might actually make a ton of sense. So, the Tarte palettes, they're 45 bucks for 4 shades. Hourglass, y'all know it's $90 for 6, so, hey, something to consider. But I don't shop from Tarte, so, been there, done that, not interested. They never got off my shit list. Well, they did, for like one palette, and then they were back on, because the palette was like mediocre at best. Anyways, we have a new collection from Mcgrath. This is their... Who is this? Shuruk. It's a collab with Shuruk, which is a jewelry designer. This all is stunning with like the crystals on it. So there is a quad, which is really pretty. I'm not gonna lie, the quad is super pretty. There's a bronzer. I don't know why they keep giving us one bronzer. There's a lipstick case with like... Is it bedazzled or like, yeah, bedazzled lipstick on a lipstick case. That's cute. And then one of the meteorites in another like blue and white bedazzled case. Really pretty. I know that this is going to be super expensive, but It's cute. I've been really enjoying Mcgrath. I do think that they have a really lovely, lovely eyeshadow formula. And the meteorites are lovely as well. This is my like finishing powder as of right now. The cases could be heavier though. Like this is pretty, but when I got it, I was like, but this thing is, it's light. It's not very sturdy. It's not hefty. It doesn't have the weight that I think a luxury product should have. Okay, I'm almost done because I'm getting tired and hungry. No, I think that's everything. So let me scooch back in the middle and we can wrap this up. Okay, so we know releases are not slowing down. Quite frankly, they're picking up because we're into that holiday season and people are shopping, whether it be for themselves or for their friends or family, whatever the case is. So if you're like me, you're probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed. First and foremost, remember all of this is going to go on sale. I promise you everything is going to go on sale. We have Black Friday coming up and we will start seeing some of those holiday sales. So don't feel like you have to run out and buy it. I'm super interested in a ton of products. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a wish list for some of the things that I want to buy and then letting myself marinate before I actually decide if this is really something I want to bring into my collection. But I hope you guys enjoyed like hearing my thoughts on the new makeup releases. Let me know down below what has caught your eye, what you're interested in picking up, especially when it comes to that Pat McGrath collection. I really, really want to know. And like what is like the one thing that's standing out to you in the indie collections? Let me know all of that in the comments below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, just double check that you're still subscribed. YouTube be playing me like that. But as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. I appreciate you so much more than you know. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.